Blessings, everyone. My name is Jess the Bless, and I'm the founder of Somebody's Auntie LLC, the brand for aunties and the people who love them. So it's very important for me to step into storytelling, and we want to tell the stories of the everyday aunties. So today I have a wonderful guest that's going to be joining me, and she's going to be talking a little bit about her story and her journey of being an auntie. So without a further ado, I'm going to add her to the stream. Hi, Amaka. How are you?
Hi. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for joining me.
Fabulous.
Your hair looks wonderful.
Thank you. As does yours. I just love the two pigtails. They look really nice.
You know what? This is an illusion. I'm going to show you. This
It's
is actually
not.
4.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. You have so much hair. I love it.
I'm sweating, guys. Don't mind me. I get really nervous when I get on video. But thank you. I've been growing it out for a while. So
it's gorgeous.
Thank you. So I do have the yellow going for your brand. I don't know if you want to give yourself a proper introduction for the people who don't know who you are.
Sure. So my name is Amaka. I'm the founder and CEO of Uche, which is an AI-powered marketplace for people with textured hair. So we match you to products uniquely suited for you based on your hair type. All Black-owned products and Black-founded.
Amazing. And you are also somebody's auntie?
Yes, I am. I'm multiple people's aunties.
Okay. How many nieces and nephews do you have?
So I have I have a very big family, just maybe to caveat that. And so and my family we're Nigerian. I grew up in the UK, but I live in the US. And I have a little baby nephew in Newark, New Jersey, and another one in Canada. They were in London, but now little girl, she's in Canada. So I do have 2 little nieces and nephews, and it is wonderful being an auntie.
Yeah, it's a beautiful feeling. What's your favorite thing about being an aunt?
So I think one of the things, at least for me, is I think that with little children, especially because both of these girls, she's 3, the little boy, he's 5. Often when with parents, I think that kids see their parents all the time. And so there's that one element of it. But because I'm, obviously I'm an adult, but I'm on the younger side, like their parents are much older. For them, it feels like having an extra sibling. And I have a lot of siblings. And so it almost feels like I get to be like a big sister to a little baby all over again. And it's just so fun to play with them. I think play is such a important bonding kind of activity, especially for little for when children are like 5 and below, because they can't really communicate and have conversations to like build a connection. It really is through play. And so I love being able to kind of like let out my inner child and like play with them, because you can feel that connection developing, and it's just really, really special.
Yeah, I feel that. You just get so much joy from being around them. It's like, it's such a beautiful thing. My favorite thing, I think, right now is just watching them grow up, because I have both like babies and I also have teenagers now.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so it's very interesting to like watch them grow up and like to just because you don't get to see them all the time, which it sounds like for you as well. And so when you do see them, you get to like, oh my gosh, you learn new words, your personality is growing, you got bigger, like what you do with your hair, and there's just such joy and light and peace. I love it.
I know. Literally this morning, I get a call and do you know when it was from one of my family members, and so when your phone is on Do Not Disturb, if a call comes through, it's because they're calling this time. So I pick up the phone, and it's my little baby nephew, and he's like, hello, and he's so adorable. He was like, when are you coming to visit again? Just like imagine like a 9 a.m. just like a random Saturday, and I was like, I'll be there at Easter, and he's like, great, I'll see you there.
Oh my goodness.
Adorable. And it's so cute because being able to see him even with his speech as that develops and he's able to express himself more, I just find it so cute that he took it upon himself to like take his dad's phone and like can you call Auntie Amaka, can you call it was just so cute.
Yeah, it is adorable. It is adorable. I love it. Do you have any like core memories now that are coming up to you or things you're
Do you want to repeat that? It froze a little bit, so I just left. I heard core memories, and then it went a bit silent.
Okay, sorry, I don't know my connection. But do you have any core memories already that you've developed with your nieces and nephews? And also, do you have, if, oh, I lost my train of thought. We'll start with one question.
Okay. So obviously, as quite a recent auntie, it's, the memories are going to go back between 3 and 5 years. It's not going to go back a whole lot of time. But something that I remember just being a lot of fun is with my niece who is in Canada now. I remember when I first, because they were in England before, and obviously I was in America. So when I came back to England during COVID, I was able to actually see her, because I think, was that the first time I'd seen her, or was it a little bit, or was it the second time? I don't recall. I think it probably was I think maybe it was one of the second times. But one of the things that I found really fun was just and these are just, memories that for me are resonant. We went to Buckingham Palace, around, the palace has got a park. I think it's at Green Park. I think that's what it is. And me and my little niece, we were just playing around the grass, and she was picking up all of the little daisies, and it was just so adorable. And they have the the changing of the guard, the little dressed up soldiers who were in front of her, and she just found it so exciting. And it was just so cute, because obviously I find her adorable, but it was always so cute seeing other people find it so cute, this little girl in a dress running around and waving at the little pretend soldier people at the palace. So that was one of the memories which I found really fun, because it was a summer's day. It was just I just remember it just being so fun. And she loved she likes animals a lot, which is funny. I'm not an animal person, but she just the statues, there were animals, the pigeons, every animal she gets so excited about. So that was really cute as well. I could just keep going.
No, I believe it. I believe it. Yeah. I honestly, I love that story because it's one of a kind. And I think what the cool thing about being an auntie is that we enjoy the little things, right? I feel like my heart just gets excited just hearing auntie in front of my name, that title, right? Just having that title feels good. What is being somebody's auntie mean to you, and does it affect how you go out into the world?
Yeah, and I think it's such a good, it absolutely does. And it's so funny how you said even hearing it in front of your name is special. I remember when I was little, and when you see an auntie or an uncle, they seem so grown up and and then there's also a feeling of safety, but also familiarity, because parents do a whole lot more disciplining than an auntie or uncle would do. Just not always, but oftentimes. And so I don't know, I think that for me, it gives me a sense of feeling mature and an adult, especially when I go into the world, because I feel there are people who look up to me and are, following kind of what I do, and are viewing it as another set of options for what an adult could look like, or an adult life could look like. And so it means a lot to me to be able to role model that, really just look at all the different versions of life you could choose from. I think that's a really special thing to be able to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny. You saying that reminds me of one of my nieces. She always is shocked when I tell her how old I am, because she says I look young. And every single year, without fail, she always gets my age wrong, and it's hilarious. And I remember when I, was I went to college, I got a full-time job, I got an apartment, all this stuff. And she had come over once and was like, "Auntie, how can you afford this?" And I was like, "I have a job." It was so funny. Even just having a car and everything, she was just kind of when we would go out and I buy her something, she'd be like, "How can you afford this?" And so it cracks me up every time. We were just out of my nephew's 4th birthday party, and she got my age wrong again. It was hilarious. But I digress. So one of the cool things I think about being an aunt, because I do want to tie this all in together with hair. So one of the things that was important for me, especially when I stepped into the, stepping out of the, I don't want to call them chains of relaxing my hair, but there was a very strict idea of beauty when I was growing up. Beauty is pain. You had to sit there and get the blowout and get the silk press and all this stuff. And I stepped out of that. And one of the things for me was that I really thought it was important to show my nieces and my nephews a different way when it comes to their hair. Not that they follow it, because they've gone couple summers ago, they bleached their hair, and like I'm like, why would you bleach your hair? Have you learned nothing from me? But you know, people can make their own decisions, but it doesn't matter. I still have to make sure that I'm like stepping into new things and showing them an alternative way. It doesn't mean they have to take it, but at least trying. How do you feel your work is going to contribute to how your nieces and nephews are going to see you in the future?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. So within my family, and obviously all families are different. I come from a Nigerian family where the types of academics is really important, but also the types of work you do is there's a very narrow view of what success looks like. It is being a doctor or a lawyer, maybe an engineer. Do you know what I mean? Very narrow set. The work that, you know, being an entrepreneur and starting a business is not something that like anyone in my family has really done. Like, you know, we're people who do very like traditional, straight-laced and predictably, you know, comfortable careers. And so what I like in terms of the pathway that I'm taking is that it allows people not necessarily to say that they'll go and do the same thing, but they'll also that they'll allow themselves to think of like options which may be different from what the family would expect them to do. And I think for a lot of people, especially, you know, Africans and people who come from very traditional cultures like that, going against what your family wants you to do can be really, really difficult, even as an adult. And so I would like them to see my example to show that, you know, it is okay to do that, and you will still get support from your family and the unconditional love, even if you don't do exactly what they would want you to do.
Yes, yes. Oh, I love that. That is so important, because there's something you just said there at the end that is like the foundation of somebody's auntie, and it's somebody's auntie: everlasting love, compassionate heart. And it's just something that all aunties just embody, like this. It's just everlasting love, compassionate heart. You always going to do, you know, it doesn't matter what kind of predicament they're in, you're going to support them. You want to be that person that they call on, and showing them another alternative way is, you know, it's a blessing, because not everybody has that. Not everybody has an auntie that they can look up to and say, hey, you know, my auntie did it. My auntie stepped out on faith. My auntie went and tried something new, and she, you know, she didn't do this and she made it okay, and she has my back. I love that. I love it. So important. So important. I don't want to berate you with questions. I get really excited talking about aunties.
This is really fun. And even as you were saying it, it also made me think of other things. So my youngest sister's godmother, but, you know, obviously auntie, I remember when, and I didn't obviously notice at the time, because, you know, when you're a kid, you don't pay attention to these things, but she had opened up, I think it was like either a savings or an investing account for my little baby sister for when she got born. And so she's 18 now. And so all of that's like accrued. And that's something which is like something that when I found out that she did that, I made sure I did that for my little nephew, because it's one of those things that the small things that you're able to, you know, teach them in practice, that like, hey, you save gradually over time, you let things compound, you take use of instruments like investing accounts to make your money work for you. I remember realizing, like, the same way this auntie taught me that lesson, I want to pass that down as an auntie myself.
Oh, I love it. So do you have any aunt figures in your life? Because I know you are an auntie, but do you have either an auntie or an aunt figure, doesn't have to be blood related, could be by assignment, that has had a lasting impact on you?
So many. It almost makes me feel, I almost feel like guilty choosing. Like, it's like so many. I think one who probably doesn't realize is, so when we were little, like both my parents worked, and so we would be taken care of by other mums and other kind of like auntie figures who were friends of my parents. But, you know, as a kid, you don't know the difference between a relative versus a family friend. They're all just aunties to you. And I remember, I don't know why this is just like very memorable for me. Oh, I don't know. I'm tearing up. This is so ridiculous. I remember one Christmas I just got it. This is one auntie. She would always take us like and all the children swimming. Like I don't know why. Like that was like a thing we would always do together. That was so fun because like my like mum doesn't swim and like my parents just work, so that wasn't something they would be able to do. So we'd always go swimming, and she was just like a really fun auntie who would always like do these things for us. I remember one Christmas her getting I don't know, it's like a very small thing, just like these two books that I think to this day are like my favorite books. One was like a Christmas like storybook of all these. I'm so sorry. This is really good.
No, it's okay.
Like, of different Christmas stories. Another was a book of poems with like a different poem for every day. And I remember just loving both of those books and really loving the poems and like memorizing them. And I just loved the rhyming and the storytelling. And the reason why it just ended up being such something so meaningful is that it kind of introduced me to like my love of like poetry and like not necessarily the musicality of music, but the words of music. And I don't think I would have realized that that was something that was like a meaningful, like creative, like, you know, sort of like thing for me had I not have been introduced to it by an auntie. And I'm sure she just like, you know, picked up a Christmas present, let me get him some books, whatever. But it ended up being just not only like a really lovely gift, but something that shaped how I honestly view the world creatively. Like it's just one of those things that, you know, was a phenomenal gift for me. So I don't know, that's one of the aunties which made a really big impact, and they probably aren't aware of the impact that had.
Well, they're gonna know now because you're gonna send them this video. Oh my gosh, absolutely wonderful. Like this is why I've created this space, right? Like you fully embodied it, because there is this overwhelming amount of support that aunties have on their families, on the communities that they serve. And I want to be able to celebrate them. And I think you have just celebrated your auntie just now in that moment and sharing that story. So beautiful. And I got chills just like listening to you. So thank you so much.
It's okay. And I have many aunties, so it's difficult to choose just one. There are many who have had profound impacts on me. So just wanted to also caveat that.
Yeah. Oh, well, this is amazing. So I'm not going to keep you any longer because I know you have somewhere to be. But thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your time, and I can't wait to hear more about your story and to shop your products and everything. So I look forward to speaking with you soon. If you would like to just tell the people where they can connect with you, and I'll put it in the comment section as well.
Sure. So I am on Instagram and TikTok. The handle is Uche Gang. So that's UCHE, like you can see on this, _gang, like a group of people. And that's my TikTok and my Instagram handles. You can also check out my AI-powered marketplace for curly hair, curly and coily hair, and that is www.uche.co. So that's uche.co.
Beautiful. All right, y'all. So we will see you in the next video. Stay blessed and bye.
Bye-bye.